Hi, you guys are gonna need a strap, a block, a bolster.
Okay. How are you guys doing today? Doing good? All right. We are going to be using some props today, a bolster, blocks, and a strap. I forgot to give you guys the strap. Does anyone else need a strap? Yes, let's just pass the basket around. You're welcome. Anybody here need a strap? No? You guys? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to talk about a subject matter that has kind of shown up in the last few days, at least in my world, and I thought I would bring it forth in the class today. So yoga is not just a physical exercise, that's just one little sliver or piece of the pie. Yoga is so much more than that. It involves meditation, it involves energy, it involves philosophy. And it really was designed to help us to be healthier and happier people. It really was designed for us to connect to our soulful self as well as to the Creator. So you don't have to approach it that way, but if you approach it that way, it really can help you build a personal relationship or develop a spiritual practice that can really enhance your life. So what I want to talk about today is, as a parent, I have three big things that I just love and have a lot of passion for in life. And one is music. I love all kinds of music. I love going to concerts. I've always loved going to shows. I love musicians. I just love the way music can emote so much, and it can be such a great way to share a story. And then the other thing is travel. I've always loved to travel. I didn't get to travel a lot growing up because I was the youngest of four, but we always did at least one big vacation a year. And then by the time I got into college, I was able to fly for the first time and became a flight attendant because I really wanted to see the world and I wanted to meet other people. I wanted to be around other languages and experience different cultures. And when I got pregnant, I knew that I wasn't going to continue to be a flight attendant because if I did, I would not be involved very much with my son's upbringing. I would be gone half the time. So I decided to make that bold choice to walk away from that career so that I could be a mom. But I told myself when I left the airlines, knowing I was going to be a full-time yoga teacher, which doesn't make a lot of money, I was thinking to myself, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to commit to myself and my son right now that I will have these adventures with him. And so really when I first started, it was just taking a lot of road trips, going to the caves in Kentucky and going to see the waterfalls around the whole state of Tennessee. Anything that we could drive to, we were going and exploring. And I was making sure that every few years I would get him on a plane and I would take him somewhere bigger, a little bit more exotic. And the other thing is yoga and meditation and all these healing arts that I've gotten to as an adult. I wanted him to be exposed to that. So I wanted to have those things that were so important to me to have a big impact and influence on him as well. And hopefully that has happened. But anyway, when I got back from the road trip that my son and I took last week, I had bought him tickets to go to a show, a concert that we were supposed to see in 2020. It's his Christmas present in 2019. Well, it canceled, it was rolled over to 2021, it rolled over again to 2022. But this band that we wanted to see was one of the bands that I grew up with. It's not a band that I've listened to much in the last 20 years, but now that he's into it, I've listened to it some more. And I was like, this will be fun because I'm gonna get to expose him to the band that I used to like, And when we looked at the tour dates at that time, they were only going to like 12 cities. And the Southeast was not on the map. Because they were going from the West Coast up through the North and into the Northeast. That was it. But I had asked my son all these years if he could go anywhere in the United States, where would you want to go? I just took him to the place he wanted to go in the world. One of the places in the States was Niagara Falls. And this band happened to be playing in Buffalo. So I was like, we can hit two stones in one. We can go see the show and we can go to Niagara Falls. So we got to experience two of our big influences on that trip. When I got back from that trip, it was interesting. I started to notice news articles coming up about influencers, right? These influencers are like Instagram people, right? And so one of them is this beautiful woman, like a real woman, like a voluptuous woman, like 4 babies, woman with a real woman's body. And she's on Instagram and she's become like this person that a lot of people follow. And she doesn't have a perfect body, but she's beautiful. And she made the headlines in a news article because this influencer with all of these followers, she had decided to put on a bikini. She didn't have the ideal bikini body, and she knew that. But that's the exact reason she decided to post it. She wasn't going to put the filters on it. She wasn't going to try to be something she wasn't. So she showed her belly and the scars and the stuff that had happened from all 4 of the births she had been through. And she was getting a lot of positive feedback because she was promoting body positivity. So what I want you to think about is, you don't have to be on social media and have a million followers to be an influencer. We all are that, whether we know it or not. Each and every one of us have an influence and an impact in our homes and with our families. All of us have an influence and an impact in this studio. Doesn't matter if you're the student or the teacher, we're all working and affecting each other energetically at some level. When we start to develop bonds and friendships and share our stories, we're developing that at an emotional level, right? It goes beyond just the physical practice. When you go to church, it's the same thing. When you go to school, it's the same thing. When you go to a game or a concert, your mere presence is having an influence. You don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to do anything. Your mere presence is holding some light, and it's holding a vibration and a frequency. So if you look at science is backing up. Energy is light. Energy is vibration. And we're holding that inside of our body. Are we going to be a positive influencer, or are we going to be a negative influencer? Are we going to have a good impact on the place that we're in, or are we going to have a poor impact? And so it really depends on us. And something that can feed us is something like we're getting ready to do. Because we're getting ready to work the kinks out of the body. We're getting ready to rinse out some of the stress, worry, and tension, anxiety out of the body. And we're moving out of fear or a lower vibration into a place of a higher frequency or more towards the love zone. And that light and love is where we're headed. And that's the frequency we want to hold and carry so that we can be a shining light for others. So with that being our contemplative food for thought today, we're going to start on our backs with the bolster coming to us. And we're going to roll out on top of it, and we're going to flip the palms open and gently close the eyes. We're going to start off here in a restorative position. Allow the feet to fan out away from each other and away from your midline. Feel the contact of your legs against the sticky mat, and also feel the softening and the spreading of the buttocks as you bring your attention to your seat. Feel the shape of your upper body from having this pillow supporting your back, and notice the openness in the belly. Notice the upliftment in your chest. And the weight of your head at rest. And now that you've been focusing on your physical form, I want you to come to form a relationship with your breath. Maybe at first just watching and witnessing the breath come and go. Perhaps noticing the undulation of the breath as it rolls up and down between the belly and the chest. And remember that the breath is the key component to diving deep in yoga. The breath being our link between the physical and the spiritual, between us and the divine. The breath is crucial to the practice, which is why we call it the heart of yoga. And the breath alone can have a major influence upon our mind, body, and spirit. We're going to do a pranayama technique, a particular type of breath work. And it's going to be 3 short in-breaths through the nose with a long out-breath through the mouth. So it sounds like this. We're going to do this together. Short in-breath, pause. Short in-breath, pause. Short in-breath, pause. And take a long out breath. Short in-breath, pause. Short in-breath, pause. Short in-breath, pause. Good. And take a long exhale. Deeper awareness. Short in-breath, feel it from the pubic bone to the ribs. Short in-breath, feel it lift the cavity of the chest. Short in-breath, feel it spread the collarbones. And take that long out breath. Deeper awareness still. Short in-breath, 1/3 of the lungs. Short in-breath, 2/3 of the lungs. Short in-breath, fill up the capacity of the lungs. And exhale, let it all go. Notice any influence it just had upon you. On your next in-breath, let's bend the knees. As you slide the feet back and flatten them to the floor, you're going to actually heel-toe the feet apart until the edges of the mat are right under your feet. All right. And then you're going to lower the knees off to the right side. This is called a windshield white twist. Inhale, bring the knees back up through center, and exhale, rock them over to the left. And you're going to continue this process, but coordinate movement with breath. Inhale, the knees lift, and exhale, they rock to one side. Inhale, the knees lift, and then you exhale, take them over to the other. I'm going to do one more to each. Now, once you lift the knees up, bring the feet closer together. Roll over to one side of your body just long enough to move that bolster away. Have your strap in hands reach, and you're going to come back down to your back. This time completely flat. Now your arms are going to lengthen up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to take the feet over to the right corner, and you're going to swerve the upper body towards the right corner of your mat. So basically, you're creating the shape of a banana or a crescent moon. That's it. With your feet slid over and your upper body swaying to one side, try to keep both heels on the floor, both sits bones on the floor, and both shoulder blades on the floor. As we open up the side body, this can help to reduce tension that we carry around the lung sacs. So open up the breath of life. And you may even feel a stretch in certain pockets on your left side. You may even feel the energy awakening on that left side. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and slide the feet over to the left corner and then curve the upper body over to the left. Both heels down, both sits bones down, both shoulder blades down. And now breathing into the right side body, more specifically into your right lung. So maybe just ponder for a moment, who has had a big impact upon you? Who has been an influencer in your life? And consider who you're impacting and influencing. On your next in breath, let's go ahead and come back to center and take a hold of your strap in your right hand. Draw your right knee in towards your upper body. Now take the strap in both hands and wrap it around your right foot and sail it skyward. So we're doing a supine variation of Adhustasana. With the strap wrapped over the ball of the foot that's above the arch of the foot in that padded area below the toes. You're going to pump your heel up towards the ceiling and spread the toes and spill them down towards your chest. Your left leg is firing up, lengthening down the length of your mat. Tug ever so gently on the strap. And at the same time, push the foot into the fabric. And feel the activation of more muscles. You don't have to add that extra activation if it's too much for you. So feel free to back off and be more gentle. This is a safe way to open up the hamstrings regarding the back. Now take both ends of the strap into your right hand. Have your left hand hold down your left hip and move it to Padangusthasana T, which means sending the leg off to the right side of the room. Please don't let the foot drop to the floor. It should hover. Your pelvis should not tilt. Your navel is still facing the ceiling. Now we're operating not just into the hamstrings, but the inner thigh muscles. Inhale, bring that leg overhead. Swap hands to hold the strap. Send the leg across your midline, just to activate the IT band, that outer connective tissue. And then go ahead and roll into the twist. So roll towards your left hip. Keep pushing the foot into the fabric. Send your right arm out to your right side, shoulder height. Breathe. And affirm. New life, new energy is flowing through my being. Inhale, roll back to center, right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, remove the strap. All right, let's slide the right leg out, bring the left knee in. Wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot and send it upward. Tug a little on the strap. Feel that flexion through the ankle. Find your edge of flexibility with your hamstrings, not forcing anything to occur. Loosening up any tightness. The power of the breath and what the pose is making available. Take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Your right hand will hold down your right hip for Padangusthasana B. Angle the leg off to the left side. This is an external rotation of the head, but be cautious with those muscles in the growing area. Inhale, bring the leg back up, swap hands to hold the strap, send it across your belly, pausing for a brief moment to feel that connective tissue getting stretched out. And now roll into your twist. So roll towards your right hip. Send the leg on across the body. New life, new energy, it's flooding into my being. All right, inhale, let's unroll from that position. Bend the knee to remove the foot from the strap. Bend both knees, roll to your right side, push down into your left palm, and gently come up. All right, we're gonna keep working with the strap. So the left leg is gonna extend out in front. The right foot's gonna connect to the inner left thigh. So it's not about hands touching your foot. So don't worry about that. We're all gonna use a strap. We're gonna create an extension of the arms. The strap, as we gently pull on it, will help to keep the proper action in the foot. We're gonna lift up through the breastbone, and as we exhale, we're gonna start to hinge over the leg. Good, now bring the ends of the strap together, walk the hands more forward. Lift up and out with your heart, and exhale, hinge from the hips. And you're just taking it to the point where you can hold the position and breathe into it. Not good or bad, right or wrong, if you can reach the foot. Now slightly dial your right rib cage towards the straight leg and let that even out your shoulders. Let that make available a little twisting action in your belly. Inhale, slowly come up. We'll remove that strap. We'll lift the right knee, slide it out. Bend the left knee, and then open the hip. Janu Sirsasana to the second side. Wrapping around the foot. Lifting up energetically through the stem of the spine. And then exhale, hinge forward. So we're trying to monitor our back so that we're staying pretty straight. It's not about getting the head to the knee.
And then just taking your time, inching forward till you find your edge where you can still openly and properly breathe. If you get to the point where it's like, I'm grimacing, I'm holding my breath, you lost your yoga. Because the breath is the key component. Roll the left ribs over towards the straight leg. The breath can have a greater impact and influence than the physical postures. They both help, but continue to breathe. And then inhale, we'll slowly exit out. When you exit out of that, we're gonna bring the right foot in front of the left. This is like a modified Siddhasana. The hands are gonna rest on the left. We're gonna turn slightly towards the right knee, and then we're gonna sweep over to the left and inhale to the top. And then we're gonna keep that going. The in-breath pulls us upright, and the exhale takes us down and around. And I would like you to close your eyes once you have the body mechanic down. Because once you close your eyes, your body may want to go into a little freestyle movement. So don't feel like you have to stay stiff. This is a Kriya, it's repetitive motion. It's good for the kidneys, it's good for the adrenal glands. You can tell what it's doing for the back of the hips. So we're taking ourselves counterclockwise first. If you study energetic anatomy, study the chakra system. If you ever use like a pendulum to check out the energy field, if it goes counterclockwise, there's an imbalance. If it's clockwise, it's balance. Let's do 3 more. Then come back to the top, flip your hands open, close your eyes, and just be. Checking in, tuning in, feeling yourself energetically. Notice you may even still feel like you're swirling that same direction. It may feel very subtle, maybe even down into the depth of the belly. And we'll swap the footing. So bring your left foot in front, your right foot closer, hands to the lap, and you're going to take it clockwise now. So turning towards your left knee, dropping down and around to the right. Inhaling to the top. So also with your eyes closed, I talked about expression in the previous pose, but you can actually also play with your pacing. Some days it's better to go slow. Some days it's nice to go fast. Use your own discernment. And noticing how it's impacting your body. Are you more or less stiff here? Inhale, come back to the top. Take a brief moment to pause and check. Even send your drishti towards your mind's eye, the center point of the brow. Even consider the statement, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. Then open up your eyes. Once you open up your eyes, we're going to slide the feet together, and the feet may feel like they're kind of glued, but use your hands to peel the inside or the insoles of the feet away from each other. So it's like you're opening the feet out like a book. And you may or may not be able to go very far, just see what's possible. And then keeping the feet open, lift up energetically through the crown of the head and exhale, hold. And just see where you can land in this pose of bound angle. If you're more open in the hips and you're at least halfway down, I would suggest walking the arms out in front of you. And that will help to elongate the back, which will increase the sensation through the hips and inner thighs where we're kind of targeting. So this pose is good for men and women. It's really good for bringing circulation to the reproductive organs. It's going to be very healing for the bladder and the urinary tract. One more breath. All right, when you come up, right knee lifts and the left foot is going to slip underneath it. Now, with it being gentle, you're probably going to want to use the strap. But I'm going to show you the other way first in case you want to use your hands. So if you take your hands underneath the sole of your foot, we're going to be coming here. And so this is where it can get tricky because you may not be able to straighten the leg using your hands. Or you might be able to straighten your legs, but all of a sudden your back is rounding. We're trying to line up both to be straight. So if you can't be straight here, this is a great tool using the strap. Yeah. So your back is straight. It's okay if you have to lean back a little bit. This is called Crouchasana Heron Pose. Notice it takes effort not to develop that core posture here. Showing the interconnectedness between the upper and the lower half of the body. All right, so if you're using your hands, you're going to keep your right hand to your foot and lower the left hand to your hip. If you're using a strap, you're going to hold both ends of the strap with your right hand and use your left hand to pull down your left hip. And then we're going to angle the leg off to the right side. Again, the leg can feel kind of heavy here, which can make us slouch. So loom up through your heart. Good, now bring the leg across, hold the strap, activate again that IT band. We did the supine on the floor. Notice it takes extra core work to keep the spine erect. Send your right arm out in front and spin and twist to your right. The twisting is really good. Think about all the inner organs that are housed in this area. So this is really helpful for digestion. Exhale, unwind from that twist, bend the knee, let the foot go. We'll swap that. So the left knee is bent, the foot's kind of tucked under. So again, you can use your hands or a strap. You're pushing out through the heel, lifting up through the heart. Crouchasana Heron Pose. Some of you are like using your hands in your straight. So if you want to go a little deeper, the way to go deeper is fly the elbows up and see if you can bring the leg a little closer in. All right, left hand to hold the strap or foot, right hand to hold down the hip, taking the leg to the left side. And just notice where you want to compromise your position, where this becomes a challenge. Bring the leg back through center, swap the hand hold. Now extend your left arm, rotate around to the left. And if you can't see your back hand, at least look sharply to the left corner of the eyes, adding a little eye yoga. And then affirm internally. I radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion to soul friends everywhere. Exhale, unwind. Let's bring the foot down and move the strap. We will be using the strap again. Set it to the upper corner of the mat. And use the knees. Once you come on to hands and knees, we're going to methodically move from the low back into the neck with cat cow. So let's begin to tilt the sits bones out and up. When you do that, the belly will start to sink, your low back will sag. And then push through your palms and open the heart and throat, look up with your eyes. Calf. As you exhale, begin dropping the tailbone down, feel the belly scooping in, hide the heart away as you arc the shoulder blades towards the heavens and bow your head chin towards chest. And then inhale, move from the low back to the mid back to the upper, cow. And exhale, reverse it to cat. Doing one more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. All right, neutralize the back. Walk your left hand way out in front of you. Bring your right arm down and then sink. Rest your head on your right arm. Allow the belly to sag towards the floor. Allow your heart to melt down towards the ground. This is called Anahatasana. This is just a half form. Your left side should feel as though it's sinking and dipping lower than your right. Your right side is simply supporting you. All right, inhale, lift the head. Slide your left hand back, come back to table. Send your right arm out in front of you. Lower the left arm underneath your face as you bow back in. Anahata is a Sanskrit term that means unbroken. I would emphasize the exhalations that you can give into gravity. Drop any boundaries around your heart. Good, now inhale, lift the head, slide your right hand back, stack onto both palms, curl your toes, and now launch into down dog. You lift your knees off the floor. You're creating this inverted pose with your head lowered between the arms. You're pressing into your hands and feet and sailing your seat skyward. When you're ready, baby step forward, 1 foot at a time, slowly stepping, stepping, stepping to the front of the mat and folding down to your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Feet pressurized, quads engaged. On your next in-breath, root down to the feet, circle the arms up overhead. Bring the palms together, if that's not too much for your neck or shoulders. And then exhale, swan dive back in, Uttanasana. Good, inhale, coming back up. Upward worship. And exhale, hinge and fold. We're gonna do one more. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, this time the hands are gonna come together and we're gonna fold in. Now this is where you may want blocks beside your feet, if you choose to use them. And your left foot is gonna step way back. So if you can use your hands, you don't need the blocks. Don't worry about that, if that's the case. Your front foot is flat, your knees align right over the ankle, your back thigh is really lifting up towards the sky. Your head is reaching out, your eyes are looking out in this lower lunge. Good, when you're ready, you're gonna hop the back foot slightly forward and plant it down, and you're gonna inhale, build the arms up to warrior one. So both feet are grounded.
You're elevating the spine over the pelvis, you're squaring your hips, looking straight ahead with your eyes. And then hopefully your strap is close by, because we're gonna bring the hands down to find the strap. We're gonna fold it in half. And we're gonna send it behind our backs. We're gonna hold that strap shoulder distance apart. Shoulders crank back, arms lift up away from the buttocks. And when you're ready, you're gonna hinge and fold to the inside of that front knee. This is called humble warrior. Glue your back foot down, fly your hands up, and make sure you're breathing. If we want this to have a positive impact upon our mind and body, we have to breathe. All right, inhale, slowly bring it up. Exhale, release the strap. Turn your left foot and heel toe it back a little bit more. Keep lunging into that front knee. Keep the side body with equanimity, and then fly the arms up shoulder height and look down the front fingertips. This is warrior 2. From Virabhadrasana 2, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot, spin off the back heel. You've returned into that lunge. Good, from here, step the blocks to the side, plant the palms to the floor, step your right foot plank. Be here in plank. Streamline wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Keep your core strong, your breath strong. All right, rock forward with your feet. Lower down to chaturanga, like a little low push-up. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, slowly lower back to your thighs, your chest, and slide your arms out. Okay, before we go into this next pose, I want you to consider what is potentially your superpower. And that could be just oozing with compassion. It could be a special skill that you have. It could be the way you communicate. It could be anything. So embrace that inner Superman or Wonder Woman as you inhale, come up, locust. Breathe. I know this is not an easy pose, especially to breathe in. Good, exhale, lower. Wiggle your hips from side to side. And if you don't know what your superpower is, think about some of the best compliments you've ever received from people. They see it, so believe them. Inhale, lift up. Breathe. Good, exhale, descend. Bring your hands under your shoulders, let your brow come gently to the floor. Inhale, push up to all fours. Good, exhale, knees lift as you tuck the toes and return to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Press into your hands more. Slide up through your back. And now baby step forward to the top of the mat. When you come to the top of the mat, the feet are side by side. You're releasing down into a forward fold. Inhale, root down to rise up. Exhale, fold it. We are all unique expressions of the one. Inhale, celebrate that as you come up. Exhale, release down. One last round. Inhale, gather what you need. Exhale, bring those blessings down to the heart, fold back into self. Once you release down, if you want to use the blocks, bring them beside the feet and step your right foot back. Lunge that front knee, determine here. Whether the blocks or not. And where is my back thigh? If it's dragging and you really feel how heavy it is, lift it. Make it lighter.
Good, offset your right foot, take your arms up, frame the face, Virabhadrasana. Think about the strong will a warrior has to have. Know that your strong will comes from your solar plexus. All right, exhale. Bring the hands down to find your strap. Hold it in half, if it's not already. Take it behind your back. Shoulders crank back, arms lift, lengthen back behind you, and then as you exhale, you hinge to the inside. Arms fly up, head bows down. Breathe into the front of the shoulders. Breathe down through the soles of the feet. Good, inhale, slowly come up. Let the strap go. Back foot. Open out the hips, face the side windows. Take the arms out, shoulder height, and then turn your gaze down the front fingertips. Warrior two. Joyfully manifest the power of my own influence. Exhale, helicopter the arms down, spin off the back heel, facing half walks, set them to the side, step to plank. Exhale, rock forward with the feet, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale down. Slide your arms down. 2 more floats. Inhale when you're ready, fly. Don't forget to breathe. The breath is your wind. And release. Wiggle the hips. And then low back a little break. Last one. Inhale, low. Power of 3 breaths. And let the third one bring you back down. Inhale, push up to all fours. We finally arrived to child's pose. Sink back, settle in, relax and breathe. Let the thighs be padding up underneath your belly. If your arms are wanting a little more relaxation, you can circle them around, do palms open at your feet so the shoulders can drip over the knees. You can rest on your brow. Just feel the breath rolling in. And allow the breath to roll right back up. Your hands beside your knees, slowly come up. Seat and have your legs out in front. But it's interesting, if you think about your main influencers, a lot of that does come from your past and the guardians and the people that kind of raised you. And as an adult, you kind of branch off and you have other types of influencers. And then you become a parent and you realize, oh, your parents really did have an influence. It's now coming out with you. But one of the best things my dad told me when I was learning to drive, because he was really into football, but it always stuck with me. He said, when you're driving your car,
cannot be offensive. You have to be defensive. You are paying attention to every other car. You are paying attention in your mirrors at all times to be ready to defend yourself. And that always stuck with me. And so luckily I have a son, he's really into football, and now he's learning to drive. And I can share that same little tidbit of information with him where he gets it, you know? So think about how broad your influences are. And you may have discovered along the way, there have been some people that weren't good influencers, and you realized that, and you had to kind of move them out of your life. So sometimes we have to do that. Grab a block, come down to your back, press into your feet, tuck and lift away from the floor so that the block can slide under your sacrum, the base of your back. Now, there are some days where it's like, I just need to keep my feet on the ground, right? So this may be what you're needing today. Maybe you need more grounding. Maybe you've been very indecisive. But if you want to invert, you can fly the feet up over the hips to take waterfall pose. This is good for our circulation. This is good for the spleen, good for the thyroid gland. It can have a calming effect on the mind. So let the wheels of the mind start to slow down. Take about 3 more breaths. With that third one, you can lower the feet. You may even feel a little tingling sensation in the feet. There's like 4 energetic meridians that start or end there. Now we'll press into the feet, squeeze to the buttocks to lift away from the block, to slide it out from below, and to roll down to the spine. Catch your knees, hug them in. Apanasana, wind release pose. Now, if you want to use any of your props for relaxation, I would recommend grabbing those now. You may want Stonehenge to lift the calves on. You may enjoy just a bolster slid up underneath your knees. If you have been feeling lonely, isolated, grieved, I would suggest a back bend like we started with under the spine. If you grabbed a towel, you can cover the eyes, if not, just close them. And I'm going to turn off the overhead lights. This is one thing that makes yoga unique. Not just emphasizing the breath more so than the exercise, but taking rest at the end of physical activity. And this is a way for us to continue self-inquiry. This is a way for us to develop that deeper connection. And this is a time where the mind, body, and spirit can integrate the benefits of what we've been doing. So in this moment, I want you to stay within and feel the energy that you've opened up. And I want you to contain that and hold space for that. And visualize this energy being light. As you hold the light, connect to the light. As you connect to the light, become the light. And as you become the light, see yourself infused, surrounded, and supported by the light. And affirm mentally within, I have faith and believe in everything that shines within me. As I hold the light, I can be a positive influence to others and have a positive impact upon the collective. I have faith and believe in everything that shines within me. As I hold the light, I can be a positive influence to others and be a positive impact upon the collective.
Place your right hand on your belly and your left hand over your heart. Bring the attention back to the breath. Develop a deeper breath. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. And only if you're flat on your back, hug your knees in. If you have a bolster under your back, just bend the knees. And then roll over to your favorite side. Before coming up for formal seats. You sit upright. Join your hands together to prayer position. Remember, as you depart from our practice today, whether you're going into an environment or you're just personally feeling some sort of disharmony or disempowerment, to return to your breath. Know that when you depart from this place, and any place you go forth through the rest of the day or week, that you are having an influence just with your mere presence. So hold on to the light, be the light, and shine the light. The light within me honors and bows to the light within each of you. Namaste. Namaste. Joining today. Glad you made it. I hope it's what you needed. Just as a heads up, for Wednesday, it'll be gentle / restorative. We'll be a little active but more restorative, and we are going to plan to the wall, do waterfall against the wall. So that'll be coming up Wednesday.